What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today, we've got a lot to discuss, but I want to start off with this new patch that's been announced. Is this going to shift the game? Are we not going to see the dominance of Anders? And I'm not saying we are, but this is the first time that I can think in FIFA history where I feel as if a patch has been introduced to counteract an individual and what makes him so special, at least one aspect of his game that he has perfected and definitely brought into the FIFA community. If you enjoy the content, drop a like right here. It is free to subscribe. Slap the LaBelle. This is gonna be some vibes. I got the ins, I got the outs, I got the breakdowns. We're gonna have a lot of the comments because we have a lot to discuss. Let me know your thoughts with the patch notes. Please talk to me about icon swaps because I'm gonna give you a scenario. I need your help. I need you to vote. I have 4 options for you coming soon.
What's up, my beautiful people? You know we equal, man. It's dirty. Hurry, gather round. Don't you worry, hold it down. This one's going through the town. Pass it around one to the wall. Living life like it's FIFA, and I only came to bow.
Patch notes. You may have seen this. It has dropped officially on PC. Has not hit the PlayStation or the Xbox yet. That is the typical rotation. Apparently we have shoes advertisement up here because I am checking out Adidas. I hate how these adverts know everything about our lives. Made the following changes. Several adjustments to the team press D-pad tactic. Decreased the amount of time the team press D-pad tactic can be active for before requiring a cooldown from 20 seconds to 15 seconds. I'm not sure if that's that prevalent or really changes anything drastically one way or the other. Once team press is requested, it effectively takes 2 seconds to activate. So why are we having a 2-second delay? I don't see how that's beneficial for the players, your gameplay, offensively, defensively. That's kind of odd. You're now having to predict when you want to pressure as opposed to it being reactive. What I do like is in situations where the defending team is using team press, recovers possession, team press will not automatically remain active on the following loss of possession. So basically, when you overtake possession, you're on the offensive end, team press stays on. Therefore, normally you're burning your cooldown or your lack of cooldown. You're basically using team press when you don't need to be. And if you're like yours truly, I'm always trying to switch off team press when I've overtaken possession and now I'm on the offensive end. And sometimes it affects my micromanaging or my multitasking because I should be focused on scoring goals. But in the back of my mind, I'm saying I got to turn this thing off. This function's got to go. However, this is the big one. And if you don't know who Anders is, 14-year-old phenom, undefeated weekend league, currently 390-0. And that's why I'm trying to say this step over and reverse step over skill move patch adjustment nerf is specifically designed towards Anders because his streams are viral, his posts viral, YouTube viral. Everybody sees what's happening, and a big portion is that he basically showcased how to utilize the stepovers to find space, to unlock space, to attack the defenders or attack the midfield, how to progress your offensive awareness, just how overpowered they can actually be. So he did not create the stepover by any means, but he perfected it to a level that everyone had to follow suit. And because he's so viral and he has so much attention, in my mind, this patch is for Anders. It's almost EA Sports versus Anders, or EA trying to counteract Anders, which I find interesting because I cannot think of a previous time throughout FIFA history where there's been a patch attached to an individual. What this patch is announces is made several adjustments to step over versus stepovers. Both skill moves are no longer considered easy skill moves and will be less effective when chained together while moving. So basically, with easy skill move execution, it's just new to FIFA 21 where they categorize certain skills, you're able to spam those skills. And we're talking about the simplicities of the world when you're looking at fake shot, ball rolls, and step overs, even body feints. Now, by EA reclassifying the skill, it makes it where you can no longer use a skill in quick succession just with itself, but even other skill move combinations not going to be clean or as precise. It's, for example, when you're doing heel to heels, you can't do more than maybe 2 of those before they start looking real sloppy. The same with roulettes, la croquettes. A lot of these you can get 2, but right when you hit that 3rd that's in line, if it's not an easy skill, if it's a more complicated skill, no matter if you are dealing with a premium attacker, someone who has those skills to pay the bills, it still looks lackluster. It changes the dynamic and the effectiveness. Also, the animations for both these stepovers has been slowed down. Decreased player transition speed when exiting either skill move at forward angles. This is the epitome of sending this towards Anders. This is dedicated towards Anders' gameplay. I made a video on my YouTube channel breaking down his gameplay. I've done videos on his channel as well where we're commentating over his gameplay. I know the ins and I know the outs, and this feels as if it is addressed dear Anders. Moving on, icon swaps. I will have 13 icon swap tokens available. There's 11 on screen. I'm just completing the Champions League squad battles, and I have one more game of doing La Liga. So I want to create a poll. I want to know what you think. I always make decisions for the community, from the community perspective. I feel like I should involve you in this. We're going to have 4 options. I'm going to put a voting portion down below. If you guys want to upvote things in the comments, perfect. These are those 4 options. If I miss something, you let me know. I'm not perfect. Option 1, we have 2 of these ultimate packs. We can get the 85 times 5 pack to go with Vidic. That is 13 total between 1, 2, and 3. And some of this comes down to how you value Vidic. I personally rate Vidic. I've thought that from the beginning of the year. I think that he's got a lot to offer. He's got great size. Defense is there. The speed is there. Big surprise to a lot of people. 74 balance on his default foot item. Many of you may have used this foot item or unlocked him. I guess the debate could be, well, how many games or how long is Vidic going to last until he's outdated? Because EA just keeps dropping promos. Option 2. We have the base or mid icon pack, which is a major risk because you're not guaranteed to even get a mid icon, and you're definitely not guaranteed to get a good mid or a good base icon. So I do want to toss that out there. I've opened a few of these for other people, for other subscribers. They've been really hot and cold. It's not been just a guaranteed upgrade, but that means if we do knock this out, that's 10 tokens, and I would combine that then with the 85 times 5 pack. Option 2. Option 3, mid icon pack, 12 tokens, which means we leave 1 with the extra cushion. We don't have to use it. There's no option for us to pick up anything with 1 token. However, what is good about the mid icon guarantee is that it is a mid icon guarantee. We're not playing the game of potentially getting a base. At least we're going to get the mid tier or the mid level, and there's a lot more players where at least their middle version, it is a more usable version. That's the only issue with the base, is I would say 15 to 20 base foot items maximum are going to be usable at a high level, and some of those even might be outdated in the future, where that percentage increases. I don't want to say dramatically, but it does increase when you're looking at mid icon packs and mid icon players. More of those guys become usable for longer stints. It just depends if you feel as if the pack gods are going to be on your behalf. There's going to be good, there's going to be bad, there's going to be ugly. If you open any of these, I want to know exactly what you got, but that's option 3. Option 4, Shuker. And this is an underrated foot item. If you've used them, you already know what's up. Much quicker than you would expect. Stamina, high, passing, shooting, you believe it. 90 curve, 89 composure, 91 finishing. Got some of that icon trait material. Just has that extra oomph that icons sometimes get. Outside the foot, chip shot, technical dribbler. You get the idea. 6 foot tall, left-footed, 4-4. Welcome back to FIFA. If we do Shuker, that's 11 of our tokens, which means the only combination to add in there is also having a couple of these ultimate packs. So those are the decisions to make. That's option 4. I'll put links below. Let me know if you see a different mix and match. What did you pack? Where do you feel that we're going to get the best return of value, or do we just roll the dice? That's why I wanted to open this up to the community. Welcome. It's midweek. I felt as if we should do an SBC recap of what's available currently. Firmino is worth it. It's just a matter of you have the funds to support this. There's no doubt in my mind playing with this guy, playing against him. If you have not completed the loan, at least do that. But he is the real deal. The stats are real. The speed is there. The movement is there. The skills are there. The chase back, offensively, defensively. It's just a price point argument or a back and forth or debate. That's really what this comes down to. Mahrez, I'm going to knock this out, but I'm a fan of Mahrez. I also believe that he's going to get upgrades, but this kind of player works for me. I wish that he had a little more sprint speed like the rest of the world, but the curve, the composure, the finishing, I like his touches. He's a technical player, and if you're a technical guy, you're going to reap some of the benefits. I will say this as a disclaimer. If you want a route 1 winger, this is not that. And if you don't use skill moves heavy, also Mahrez is probably not your guy. James Milner versus Scott McSauce. So between these two, Milner has no track record. Statistically, it doesn't look bad, but he doesn't have a track record in FIFA. I'm not sure that I'm going to get a lot of minutes. At best, you could probably hope for some sort of comparison to Kimmich. So that's just a matter of if that is interesting to you, if that has value for you on a personal level. But I don't like going with players that don't have any previous positives to attach to their FIFA resume. I think Scott McSauce actually has more value than a lot of people would expect. He's cheaper for one. He looks good in 85. They get a draw at 86. If they get a win 87, but I play him at a center back. And I know some of you will talk about the pace, but it's not bad, not for a center back. He'd be too clunky as a holding mid, in my opinion, and then you don't get the ability to score goals. But as a center back at 6'4", with high stamina, high strength, high aggression, decent dribbling, pace, passing out of the back, defensive numbers are there, this gets much more interesting. So I'm interested in McSauce, but that is the question you have to ask yourself. Dos Santos is a perfect value pickup. 7 days remain, but how do you get him into a team? That is the question. That will be the 60,000 coin question, because he's not expensive. What you get from a face value: 94 acceleration, 84 sprint speed, just green stats everywhere, 5'8", high work rates, great for a box to box, 4-4. This is good money, but it's just a matter of, can you get him into a squad? And center mids or holding mids are not super subs, because those types of positions typically have high stamina and you leave them in for the majority of the match, if not all of the match, even in extra time. When you're making changes, it's offensively. You want fresh legs going forward. You want to be dynamic. Andy, that's a skip. Icons, I've talked a lot about icons. The typical rule of thumb, I compare the price of what their SBC costs, what their market price is, and most of the time it's not worth completing the SBC, at least not up to this point. I know the new drops, some of them are a little bit better priced in terms of that compare and contrast, but it's just so many coins that you have to invest for a player that you can get on market at similar price. Out of all the new drops, I like Kaká. This is an interesting foot item. I might have a bias that this is one of my favorite players of all time. He's going to give you months on months on months of performing on the virtual pitch. So you have to ask yourself, how many games are you going to play? Because you're talking 1.2, 1.3 million coins. That is a serious investment. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed everything, make sure to drop some love on the video, and I have a lot more coming out ASAP. Remember to vote. We've been uploading daily. I appreciate you. I only wish you health, wealth, and prosperity. We're running it up. I'll see you in the live stream. I'll see you on the YouTube. Let's get it.